Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Ruth Burkhart, and I am part of the continuity of operations for the Board of Nursing, and I'm calling the meeting to order. Let's do roll call. Belinda Katz.
Here.
And I am here, so we have a quorum up to. Staff present are Adrienne Guerrero, Director of Operations, Jill Simons. Let's see, was anyone else present? And then Nicole Turner.
Introductions of our general counsel in a little bit.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here today. We have a great deal of important and fast-moving work ahead of us as we continue implementing House Bill 2528. I appreciate everyone's dedication and collaboration. And I want to recognize National Nurses Week. KSBN thanks the nurses of Kansas for the extraordinary care, compassion, and professionalism they provide every day. Nurses are essential to the health and well-being of our state, and we are deeply grateful for all they do for Kansas and their families. The next item on the agenda is review of the on-site packet. We do not have an on-site packet. Additions and revisions of the agenda. Is there a call for that?
We have no additional information other than the two items.
Thank you, Adrian. And then for announcements, Adrian has some things he would like to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. First, I'd like to introduce our new general counsels. Nicole, I don't know if you want to kick it off and do some introductions.
Yeah, thank you. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Yeah, good morning. My name is Nicole Turner. We met at the March 2026 board meeting. You also met Jordan Akins, who is an assistant attorney general with our office and also served as general counsel for you all. Unfortunately, we are losing Miss Jordan. Her last day will be this Friday. So Joseph Basati, who is an assistant attorney general in our office, will be joining as your general counsel. He has started getting up to speed, and this is his first meeting with you all. So he's got a lot of experience with general counsel work. He's a wonderful attorney, obviously, and we're very excited to have him.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Well, welcome. And Jordan, just thank you. I know we only got the chance to serve for just a brief period, but I want to really thank you for everything you did for us and helping us get through and get organized and ready for this effort. So thank you, and best wishes to you on your new endeavor.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
And if we have a few minutes, I thought this might be a good time to maybe just give a few updates of some things that we've been doing here. Traditionally, we have like an executive administrator's update, so I thought I would give a few words, and then we can move into the meat of the agenda, if that's okay. Is that all okay for me to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to thank everybody who's on here joining us, and I extend a warm welcome to those listening in and online. You know, and I want to recognize this moment. The Board of Nursing is really in a period of significant change as we work into this House Bill 2528. And while change can be difficult, it also gives us an opportunity to improve some of our processes, to strengthen our collaboration, and really to move our agency forward for the people and nurses of Kansas. And I do want to thank the proponents, the neutral parties, and even the opponents of House Bill 2528. While there were many differing perspectives, I believe everybody involved did what they believed was best for Kansas and the nursing profession. And I appreciate the willingness for them to continue to work as we work towards practical and amicable solutions. And even though this was an uncomfortable past year, it really is refreshing to see democracy in action. I know you turn on the news every day and you see people are disagreeing with things and one another, but you know, sometimes organizations and leaders, we act with the best intentions that we know, and maybe sometimes we miss that mark. And it's in those moments, you know, that our elected official and the will of the people that determine the path forward. And so at times a correction or even a big change is needed. And that's actually okay. And it's refreshing to see, you know, people being involved with their government and making us a more responsible public service. I want to thank our dedicated staff for their professionalism during this time. They really are trying hard to make KSBN the best KSBN that we can be. And as we move forward, we all remain committed to earning back and strengthening the trust and respect of our board with the stakeholders, the licensees, and the public. And the ways that we're doing that is via some new outreach engagements that we're involved in. Over the past several years, maybe we haven't been as engaged with our external partners and stakeholders as maybe as much as we should have been. And so that was something that immediately I asked the staff to really look at and see if there's some areas that we can, do better. And so I'm pleased to say that we've already started a lot of that already. We had staff go to the Kansas Organizational Nursing Leaders Conference. We quickly set up a booth. Andy and Linda did a great job getting it set up for us so that we could be there and try to answer the questions that we knew the answers to. Linda and Ruth, one of our investigators, are working with the Kansas Association of Risk and Quality Management folks, and they've had good connections with them before, but we're just reassuring and getting those connections. We have some staff that are going to be attending, and I think I probably got the name wrong, but it's like the Kansas Area of Aging and Nursing or something like that. It's a virtual forum that we're going to be a part of. Janelle had the honor of being invited to sit at a roundtable for behavioral health professionals roundtable regarding some of the important work that we're doing with the LMHT program. So that's a pretty neat honor. And then we have some networking and update meetings scheduled. I believe it's this week with the Kansas Hospital Association. And then on my front, as the operations director, acting, I guess, in the connections for the executive administrator, I made an effort to reach out to non-cabinet agency leadership team. And so we've had some meetings on there. I've had some meetings with some of our elected officials. One of them that was a proponent of the bill. So trying to keep that communication there. I've had meetings with the budget office, the Office of Personnel. I've met with multiple occasions with the governor's office already, the Attorney General's office, and then, of course, our general counsel on this call. We've had several meetings over the past few weeks. In addition to that, I'm holding one-on-one leadership meetings with the head of the State Board of Pharmacy. And then later today, I'm meeting with the head of and the leadership team of the Board of Healing Arts. And that's actually leading to the reconstitution of it's not a formal thing, but it's the Kansas health professionals, regulators. We have like a lunch update meeting that hasn't happened for several years. So we're going to start that back up to keep those connections going. Last week, I thought we had a very productive session with the leadership team of the Kansas Nursing Workforce Center to discuss some of the shared challenges and opportunities facing the nursing workforce in Kansas. I think it's important that we keep that connection there, and with the nursing shortages being such a high topic of discussion amongst employers, elected officials, and that sort of thing, I think we need to keep those lines open. And so that's an area, and we had a great meeting with that. On the IT and the public information officer front, we've been actively engaged with NCSBN on initiatives involving the implementation of the auto enroll for Nurses e-Notify. We had hoped to kick this Nurses Week, but we're going through some testing and things that took just a little bit longer than what we anticipated, but we're getting really close on that. I know in past board meetings, you heard me talk about the legislative post audit for cybersecurity. We had a pretty good review. They're coming back to do an assessment just to see how the progress we've made. And so that was kind of an unexpected thing that fell in there, but we'll tackle that. I'm pleased to announce that we got 100% score, I guess is what you would call it, on our continuity of operations plan that is required of all agencies. We submitted that this past month, and it's got 100%, so that's really cool. We've been working on contracts for our virtual infrastructure hosting. It's basically just a renewal, but it's a long process to go through. And we've also replaced agency firewalls. So that's been a lot of work that's been going on that front. We've been meeting with System Automation to prepare for the changes associated with House Bill 2528, more specifically for the fee that we're going to talk about today, and then the late renewal or grace period, whatever you want to call it. That was, since the bill went live really quick, we are actually scrambling to get that done. And it's a little bit of a process to make big changes while the engine's going, so to speak. So we're working through that. And in the interim, we've put an update bubble on our website so that it kind of has some FAQs, or if people have questions. We've created an avenue for them to reach out to the agency to ask questions so that we can, make sure that people understand that the bill is in effect, and that those that did not renew at the end of, it would have been April, or actually have a grace period right now. And so we're working through that process. Internally, I've established some individual staff meetings with key staff members. I actually want to meet with every staff member individually, but need to manage my time appropriately. And so we'll be working through that. We're having weekly leadership meetings so that we can improve communications across our divisions, so that we can monitor our progress of what we're doing and continue improving the agency. Last week, we had an all-staff meeting where we had an honored guest. Her name is Miss Annette Hope Billings, and she wrote the poem that was called The Beauty of Kansas. She's a retired nurse and was the recipient of the 2026 Governor's Art Award for Literature. And it was a really meaningful reminder of the impact nurses have, not only within healthcare, but really within our communities and across Kansas. And we did do a video recording of her reading the poem, and it's great. I kind of wish I would have had an external microphone. So I'm trying to work on getting the audio enhanced so that we can share it online and the public can listen to it. And then we've even taken some time to do a little bit of a timeout, to have a little amazing potluck lunch. Our investigator, Ruth Humbert, made some amazing soups for staff, just to bring us together so that we can continue to work in this moment and make sure that we take time, to recognize the efforts of everybody. And we have done all of this in 4 weeks. And so, I do want to sincerely thank the staff and everybody, the external parties, the people that we've been speaking to, proponents of the bill, opponents of the bill. Everybody's been really forthcoming and willing to work with us. And so I think that's incredibly important during this transition to have all parties involved. And I'll talk a little bit about the voids and what we're doing on that when we get to that section of the agenda. But just wanted to give you a brief update of a lot of work and a lot of ground that's been covered in the past few weeks.
Thank you, Adrian. And I just want to say I am very impressed with the work that you've done, and as a constituent of Kansas and a nurse, just so thankful for you and for the agency staff. So thank you so much.
Well, it's definitely a team effort. I will say that everybody has stepped up. And so
Yeah, it sounds
nobody,
like
when
it.
I brought anything to somebody and said, hey, can you help me with XYZ? Nobody has said, I'm too busy. Nobody.
Wow.
So I really appreciate it. And it's been refreshing to see.
Yes. Well, looking at the agenda again, it is new business. And Adrian, I'm going to ask for your help with this. With if you could review that section there with the list of current fees. Would you please go ahead and do that? Thank you.
Absolutely. And Colton, do you know, can I screen share? I made a quick little list, so this might be a little easier to look at. I didn't think about it until you can click on the link on the agenda and it'll take you to the full list of fees, but I wanted to just kind of break it down. I wish I would have thought to put this in the packet, but let me see if I can pull this up on the screen here. Let me know when you do. Maybe if I do send request.
Think you can. There we go.
Thank you. Let's see if I can get this up here. You can see that all right?
No, it just says you started screen share. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so I basically on the link on the screen and on the agenda is the full set of fees, but I wanted to just maybe target these few things real quick. The one area that we have of the bill allows us to assess some sort of a late fee when a person goes into, I guess, quote unquote, the late renewal or grace fee or grace period. You can go up to $300 for that late fee. I would not advocate that we do that. We don't need to be doing that right now. And so what I'm thinking would be maybe more realistic and understanding as we work forward through this is to make the reinstatement fee essentially, the late fee essentially the difference between a reinstatement. Because the reason for this is for a couple of reasons. For one, I think it just shows that we're, being good stewards with our funding, but also because if you were to say, let's say, for example, do the $300 fee, in theory, somebody could wait until after that grace period and then go get a reinstatement, and it would cost half that. So that doesn't really make sense to jack up the fee just to do it. So what I think we should do as an agency, at least for the time being, is just essentially do the difference between the reinstatement and the renewal. That way you're basically equal to what a reinstatement would be anyway. It's just quicker. And so I don't know how to word that exactly. I might need some help from Nicole or Joseph or
Okay.
Jordan. But essentially the fee could just offset that slightly.
Yeah, if I may, Dr. Burkhart. So if the board wants to implement the late fee, it would require a regulation change. And the operations committee does have that authority that was delegated to them back in March. So if you all approve an amount and to amend the regulation, adding the late renewal fees that Adrian is proposing, you can absolutely do that. Until the late renewal fee is in place, you don't have any fee for that. So our recommendation is to get something for the late renewal fee going.
Thank
So
you. Do we need to have a call and a vote on this, like a motion?
yes.
Okay,
I'm not exactly sure how to word that motion.
It can
Belinda,
be,
yeah.
oh,
I'm
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
Sorry,
ahead.
Dr. Burkhart. It can be a simple motion as far as I move that the Director of Operations proceed with amending the fee regulation to add the late renewal fees that he is proposing to the committee.
Okay. I move that we allow the operations director to implement the late fees as he has directed, and to amend what's it?
The
To proceed.
regulation.
The regulations.
And since there's only two of this, I'm just going to say I second that. And the motion has passed. Unless, Belinda, you have further discussion, it is just you and I. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay, the motion has passed. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you very
Adrian.
much for doing that. This is one of the key steps that we needed in order to start making the changes to the system. We didn't want to make changes and do it at zero and then come back around and have to make changes again. So this is very helpful. Thank you for indulging us on that. And I guess I'll let you take us to the next one and I'll give you an update there.
The next item on the agenda is void delegation. And again, Adrian, Um, I would like you to discuss that, please. Thank you.
Well, I want to give credit to the investigative and discipline teams that are working really hard to get through the list and prioritize. Specifically, Rachel, one of our disciplinary counsels, is working very hard to get it all set up. And she gave me a debrief just at the end of the week last week of her making her couple passes through. And I think we're going to be ready to really start revving up on those here in about a week or so. We've got kind of a process we think we're going to do so that it can go through. And if you approve what I'm hoping you will approve this time, I think we're going to be able to knock out a whole bunch of them, pretty quick, hopefully. And so that's, one of the things that's got a timeline to it. I believe September 1st of this year, we need to get those done. We've had to reach out and find some contacts for one of the difficult ones is getting the Office of Inspector General. That's been a little bit more of a challenge than finding a person to talk to than we thought. And we've been working with NCSBN and the MPDB on some processes that we think will make that seamless for us. So I want to, verbally thank NCSBN. I know they're not on this call, but that's something they've done a lot of work with us and working with our teams. So one of the things that I'm hoping you might approve, and I guess Nicole, I'll need some help with this one too, is to give me the authority to sign off on some of the voids, in particular the ones that have unlicensed practice or C&E related that maybe are just a little bit more clear, like cut and dry, I guess you would say, easy ones to look at. Those, if I could have that authority to work with Rachel and Megan and the team, and so that we can just start, going down the line and getting them out. I have, in particular, a certain person I'd like to start with. And so, we're going to try to work our way from the most recent back, because we think that those are the closer ones to those that would be, employed and working. So we want to try to get those nurses back out there and working for Kansas. So that's kind of my thought with that, but open to any discussion that you have.
So Adrian, it sounds like we need to make a motion. Is
Well,
that
I
where
think-
we're at, or no?
Nicole, maybe I need you to chime in on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So the operations committee was delegated the authority to implement and continue operations as necessary for implementation of HB 2528. One of those delegations was having staff do anything necessary to continue with that work. So we don't need a formal motion because there was a formal motion back in March. You can simply just agree with Adrian's approach, direct him to continue that approach. And then anything else you want to add for clarification to that. So there's clear boundaries if you want to establish anything else. But just a simple direction would be needed.
Right, well, and I certainly approve that, Adrian. And there again, I think you've got a very solid plan. It's already in operation, and thank you.
I agree.
Well, I appreciate that and appreciate the trust, everybody. We'll get to work. This is what we needed. so we're gonna start the process real quick. I guess I'll let you move us to the next topic if you want.
Right, the next item on the agenda is the next operations committee meeting.
Okay. What my plan is to hold a few of these little, what I guess they're operations committee, but they're kind of really focused operations committee. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So this was the first important thing, and we wanted to get that out of the way. I think for the next one, I need to, unless something comes up in the middle of, the next couple weeks, to have Janelle join us for that one, because she has some education and C&E stuff that we need to kind of just get done. It's more semantics more than anything of major discussion. My goal is to not do any really solid big things, right now while we're going through the change of the different boards. and getting the interims, because, you know, that would be very confusing for whoever comes next. And so I think we're just going to keep these kind of really focused. And then on the, I believe the June 8th investigative day, if, or I guess operations technically doing investigations, hearings, if you still are available for that, I guess I would hope maybe you could come in and do that, but if not, we can certainly do virtual, because the investigators also have a timeline that they need to start getting some stuff done.
Sure.
And they need to have those hearings, and that's going to be very focused for them. You know, and you guys obviously will have the public part of the meeting, but my intent is to not hold the education and June board meeting. And then what will happen if the governor's office is able to stand up the next interim board, I'm hoping that maybe we could sort of bump that to somewhere in hopefully July, so that they can come on and we have enough time to do the orientation and all that kind of stuff, and then have them meet to convene once or twice. I guess I'm still working through with general counsel how this will work, but so that they can start doing the business of the board. So it's not necessarily canceling the June, it's more moving it. I don't have a date yet, obviously, because I don't know who the December's are. And so you know, it's a little bit of a moving target. Flexibility will be needed, but we'll still continue to stream and do all of that stuff with the meetings, so that we can, you know, let the public see what's going on. And so that's kind of my thought. Open to any discussion if you think that that's not the right method.
Belinda, do you have any comments on
I
on
think that-
Adrian's plan?
No, I think he has a good plan, and I know it's a hard time with the getting a whole new board, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, that really sounds like an effective plan, Adrian, and including the orientation of the new board for a few months. So sounds good. All right, is there any additional discussion on any item that has been discussed today or that needs to be discussed before we move on to an adjournment?
That's all I had. Again, just thank you everybody for working with us. I do feel like we're starting to turn that corner, so we're moving forward.
Do we need to
Thank you,
do a
everybody.
motion? Oh, I'm sorry. Do we need to do a motion for adjournment?
No, you do not. You can simply adjourn.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.